Discipline is not freedom. It feels like a prison. Yet, paradoxically, it's the only prison that sets you free. Everyone wants success, money, financial independence, but very few are willing to pay the real price. Saying no to what's easy, instant, and comfortable. I only understand this when I realized my life was being wasted on excuses, on too much excuses. I had big dreams, but zero control of my things. I kept telling myself, I'll start tomorrow. And that tomorrow turned into wasted and wasted years. What struck me was that I constantly heard motivational quotes. These quotes, for examples, were like, be disciplined and everything will come. But nobody tells you how brutal it is to keep going and going when no one is watching. It's too difficult because no one tells you that. That's where most people give up. It's in that moment. And I get it because discipline hurts myself. It hurts to wake up when your body begs for more sleep, for more hours of sleep. You want to get to be in bed. It hurts to save money when your friends are spending freely on parties and drinks and food and so on. It hurts to study when everyone else is partying, but you're doing your best. But it's hard, right? But you know what hurts more? Watching your life stay the same year after year. I began to see discipline differently, to see this word differently. Not as punishment, because I see it like that every day. I changed that word. I see discipline not as a punishment, but as a tool to break the cycle, to break it. If you're in your 20s, this is your moment. You don't need to wait until your 40s or your 50s to wake up full of regret. No, you can start in your 20s. I have something that will completely shift the way you view discipline. And it's not what you think. Why do the world's most successful people, athletes like Kobe Bryant, entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, swear that discipline is more valuable than talent? Why? Because it's the one thing that never relies on luck. It's not about luck. And once you grasp that, your life will never be the same. Your life is going to change. I learned I learned this late. I learned late what no one ever explained to me. Motivation is smoke. It's only smoke. Today is here. Tomorrow it's gone. But discipline, that's the foundation of everything. I remember when I was stuck in a job I despised a lot, earning just enough to get by every day. Every day I told myself, I need to change. I need a change. But when I got home, I collapsed on the couch. I was on the couch and I collapsed. Phone in my hand, scrolling endlessly through social media, watching videos, more and more videos, and I was stuck. The question was simple. If I wanted a change so badly, so hard, why wasn't I doing anything? Why? The answer hit me like a bucket of cold water. I was waiting to feel like it. But the urge never comes when you need it most. And in that moment, in that moment was when I realized If I wanted to stop living halfway and stay laying in my couch, I had to stop trusting my moods and start trusting a system. Not trusting in my moods, trust in a system. That system is discipline, what I said before. It's doing what you said you would do. It's only that. It's only that. It's doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. But you have to do it. It's uncomfortable, yes, I get it. But every time you apply it, you become stronger than your own mind. Okay? And the truth is, success doesn't exist success without discomfort. You have to put it hard, okay? Success doesn't come with luck. You have to feel the discomfort. Most people think discipline means rigidity, but it's really about choice. Many people have the wrong concept of what is discipline. It's about deciding where your energy and money will go. Do you want to travel? Build a business, invest, transform your body? You want to transform your body? It all starts here with discipline, to be constant on your things, on your purposes. And this is where most fail, where most people fail, because they expect some glamorous secret when in reality it's brutally simple. This not going to fall from the sky. You have to earn it. What is the best part? Once you taste the results, you never want to go back. Never. Believe me. Discipline doesn't just change your habits. It changes your identity and your self-esteem. When I understood this, I want to war with myself. I went to war with myself because the mind is tricky, it's powerful. It whispers you. It whispers things. Just once won't matter. You can catch up tomorrow. You deserve a break. Take a rest. Lay out on your couch. Scroll the cell phone. And the worst part is that it sounds reasonable for you. You deserve it. That little voice, that little whispers stole years of progress from me. Believe me, it stole from me. Every small choice I postponed, every habit I ignored, stacked up into invisible depths that crippled myself. One day, it became clear for me. My lack of discipline wasn't just costing my money. It was costing me time, opportunities, and self-respect for myself. And that's when it really stings, because you realize there's no one else to blame. It's only you. There's no one else. The pressure grew when I tried to force impossible routines. Military schedules I couldn't sustain. I failed over and over, and each failure fed the belief that I just wasn't built for discipline. I'm not for this. But it's not like that. But that was the mistake. Believe that sentence. Just wasn't built for discipline. That was the mistake. Discipline isn't perfection. It's persistence. It's persistence. My first real breakthrough came when I chose something so small, it seemed laughable. Waking up 15 minutes earlier every day. Something very, very easy. Just 15 minutes. It looked trivial, but psychologically, it was massive. It was hard. Because when I did it, I proved to myself that I could follow through. I could follow through. That was the start of a domino effect. Suddenly, everything else began to shift. Everything. And I realized discipline doesn't come from big goals. It comes from tiny daily wins. I love that phrase. It comes from tiny daily wins. That's where the real battle began. Each morning I got up those 15 minutes earlier, and each morning my mind invented me new excuses. It's cold, it's too cold. Stay in bed. The whispers that I said before, right? It's cold. Stay in bed. You didn't sleep enough. You need to rest. You deserved a break. 5 more minutes won't matter. 5 more minutes, it doesn't matter. It felt like fighting an invisible enemy who knew my weaknesses better than anyone. Better than anyone. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you, this fight isn't won once. It's won every single day. But with each small victory, I started feeling a new kind of strength. It wasn't fleeting motivation. It was self-respect. That was it. It was self-respect. And that respect became fuel. People think discipline is infinite willpower. It's not. It's creating. It's something that is you build discipline, an environment that forces you to win, and you're respecting yourself. I left my phone in another room, so it wasn't the first thing I touched in the morning. I canceled streaming accounts that wasted hours of my life. And when friends told me I was overdoing it, I answered, what's really extreme in saying the same and expecting change? What's the problem with that? Okay, I need a change, and it's an act of love for me. At first, it felt like sacrifice, but soon I noticed subtle shifts, more energy, more free time, sharper focus. That sense of control was addictive. It makes me feel really good, really, really good. And surprisingly, it showed up in my bank account. You can believe it. Yes. Because when you master your time, you inevitably master your money. That's when I understood discipline isn't just a routine, it's a declaration of who you are and where you're going, where you wanna going to go. At first, I thought discipline only helped me organize my days. I only think that. I only thought about it. But I soon discovered it was a lever that multiplied results. Yes. Every discipline decision didn't just change my schedule, it changed my future. Yes, I can see it now. Take this example. I started tracking my expenses. At first, it seemed unnecessary. But after 1 month, I saw how much money was slipping away in office, fast food, and impulse buys. A lot of impulse buys. That money gone on things I forgot the next day. They were irrelevant for me. So I could have been, could have been investments, trips, real experiences. The conflict was clear. Keep spending as if it didn't matter, or use discipline to build a future. That was the real thought that I had. The temptation to continue as always was strong. That is the easy way, right? But so was the truth. Every dollar I don't control, someone else controls for me. Do you get it? That's when discipline stopped being sacrifice. because someone else controls that for me, and became my shield against mediocrity. Yes, I had to fight. I have to fight with mediocrity. Friends told me, enjoy life, enjoy your life. Money comes and goes. That's it. And I thought, yes, it goes, right? But unless I direct it, it never comes back. It never comes back unless I direct it. And that's what I wanted. That tension kept me awake many nights. I couldn't sleep. But I also give me but it also gave me clarity. Every small habit was shaping who I'd become by 30. I realized discipline isn't just about money or time. It's a muscle. It's like a muscle that defines your entire life, your entire body, right? It's about discipline. That is discipline. Okay? Every time I said no to a distraction, I was saying yes to a stronger version of myself. An act of love, as I said before, right? But there's the hard part. But here's the hard part. Discipline doesn't cheer you on at first. Doesn't cheer you, right? There are no medals, no likes. There is no motivation, maybe. There are no medals, no likes, no applauses. In fact, it feels like nothing is happening at the beginning, okay? At the beginning. That's why many quit. They don't see immediate results, so many people give up on doing this because they don't see the immediate result. Yes, it's in that silence that the most important things are built. It's in that silence, but many people don't see it. I lived it for weeks. Nothing seemed to change. In many days, I wanted to give up, but I didn't do it. I woke up earlier, controlled my spending, studied more every day, and everything looked the same. I was going to quit, but I didn't do it, as I said. But suddenly, it all clicked. I had more savings than I'd seen in years. My energy was different. My productivity skyrocketed. Skyrocket. And the most important thing, my confidence hit another level. Another level. And that was a problem for me before. But now my confidence is high, a high level. That was the turning point. Once you see the first fruits, you understand that discipline grows exponentially. And that's what you need, what every people need. It feels slow at first, but when it takes off, results hit like an avalanche. And that's really, really, really good. It feels really good. At that point, it's no longer about forcing yourself. It's about enjoying the control you never had. But now you have it. And trust me, that's addictive. That's really addictive. The biggest sign of change came when I stopped needing excuses. I stopped needing it. I used to justify everything. Everything has a justify. I don't have time, for example. I don't have energy. I need to sleep. Life's unfair with me. But by sticking to my habits, those words lost their power. I was no longer a victim of circumstances, no more. I was the author of my choices, and that's the self confidence that I have now. My confidence is a high level, okay? And there's the uncomfortable truth. Discipline doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you believe you are. And that's the most important thing in life, right? I went from feeling weak and scattered to seeing myself as someone who follows through. That confidence showed in everything: how I spoke, how I connected with others, with other people, with friends, and when people at the meeting for the first time, how I chased opportunities. That changed too, of course. It all has to do with confidence, if you think. The climax came when people started asking me how I did it. That is the climax point. Friends who once mocked me for being too structured and for not going to party, for not having a rest, now asked me for advice on saving, productivity, and focus. How do you do this? How now you're so comfortable with yourself? That's when I realized something powerful. Discipline doesn't just transform your life, it inspires others too. The discipline inspires others to change. Okay? What began with 15 minutes of effort became an irreversibly identity shift. I stopped being someone who tries and became someone who does what I want to do. I am someone who does right now. The lesson was clear. You don't need perfect discipline, you just need enough to prove to yourself that you're capable of. That spark is what ignites everything else. Is that spark? Only that. You start from there, from that tiny little spark. The change was internal, but the visible results blew me away. It wasn't just about money and it wasn't just about money saved or a stronger body. It was deeper. I felt like the owner of my life. Discipline taught me that freedom doesn't mean doing whatever you want. It means having the control to choose what truly matters. What truly matters for you. And here's the truth. When you start living with discipline, people will feel uncomfortable. They look what you're doing, and people start feeling uncomfortable. They'll call you boring, excessive, even obsessed with what you're doing. But guess what? Those same people secretly embody your results. And that's the meaning of everything. That's the meaning of the comments of boring, excessive, obsessed. They embody you because they want the same. Because while they stay trapped in excuses, you move forward. You move, even slowly, but you move. And that's the whole point. The contrast became obvious in my relationships. Friends who spent recklessly ended up drowning in debt, while I began investing my first dollars. I give it a change to that. Others who mocked me for skipping parties now complain about lacking energy and time, which I have it now. That was the ultimate validation. Seeing how discipline was separating me from the average. And I realized something vital. Discipline isn't about saying no to pleasure, it's about saying yes to a greater, deeper, lasting kind of pleasure. That is the main difference. It's not the end of living, it's the beginning of intentional living about what you want to live. That is the main purpose of discipline. Discipline took me to a point of no return. I don't want to return, believe me. I couldn't settle for less anymore because I had tasted what progress feels like and how I am and who I am with progress. And I promise you, once you feel that kind of control, you never want to go back. You never want to go back, believe me. The greatest lesson was that discipline isn't about forcing yourself forever. The greatest lesson it's about making it part of your identity. When you say, I am disciplined, it's no longer a task, it's who you are. That's the whole point. Just like nobody says, I work hard to brush my teeth. They simply do it because it's part of their life. And what is the craziest part? Success begins to feel inevitable. It is inevitable. Because if you are consistent, even with the small steps, the result must come. They will come. It's not magic and it's slow, but it's like math. Kobe Bryant knew it. He trained longer than anyone. Not because he was a genius, but because he understood accumulated discipline creates advantage. Another example that we said before, Elon Musk proves it too. Success isn't just brilliant ideas. No, it's relentless execution. Here's the point. Discipline is the secret weapon everyone underestimates. Yes, that's the phrase. Discipline is the secret weapon that everyone underestimates. Why? Most people chase shortcuts, but the real winners are those who endure when others give up. Those are the real winners. It's like that. So the conclusion is harsh, but simple. If you don't master discipline, if you don't master it, someone else will master your life. Someone else, and you don't want someone else master your life. You want to be the one who master your life. While you procrastinate, others advance. While you spend carelessly, others invest. While you wait for the perfect time, others are already building the future you only dream about. And you feel that's not fair, right? So here it is straight. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's the key to freedom. It's the key to freedom. I went from loss and aimless to truly choosing my path because that's what I wanted, to be free with my time, with my family, with everything. Feel freedom. And yes, it hurts. It is difficult, but the regret hurts so much more. Not doing what you want to do, what you think you were doing to do. It hurts more, the regret. The solution is in your hands. Start small, step by step, but start today. Not tomorrow, today. Wake up earlier, cut one expense, keep one promise. Don't underestimate these steps. They're what separate a repeated life from a transformed one. They're what separate it. So I leave you with this. Discipline is the prison that makes you free. The real question is, are you going to keep running from it or embrace it to build the life you deserve? If this message resonated with you, don't ignore it. Subscribe, share this video, and more importantly, apply what you just learned today. Apply it from now. Because discipline isn't something you think about. It's something you do.